The coffee splashed across his white shirt like a confession. Amelia's hands trembled as she stared at the spreading brown stain, her face burning with the kind of shame that made her want to disappear into the floorboards. "I'm so sorry," she whispered, grabbing napkins with shaking fingers. Gabriel Stone looked down at his ruined $300 shirt and felt nothing but relief. For the first time in months, something had broken through the numbness. Her eyes, wide and terrified, were the warmest brown he'd ever seen. "It's just a shirt," he said softly. "It's clearly expensive." Her voice cracked. "I'll pay for it." He caught her hands to stop her frantic dabbing. The moment their skin touched, electricity shot through his chest. Real. Human. Alive. "Breathe," he murmured. "I have 20 of these." She looked up at him, and he saw it. The same exhaustion he felt every morning. The same loneliness that made sleep impossible. She was drowning too. "What's your name?" "Amelia. Let me buy you another coffee, Amelia." 10 minutes later, they sat across from each other. He'd borrowed a worn t-shirt from the lost and found, and she'd stopped trembling. "I'm a librarian," she said, like it was an apology. "Tell me about it." She did. Her face transformed when she talked about the children's section, about story time, about watching kids discover new worlds. Gabriel forgot about the surgery scheduled in 2 hours. Forgot about his father's phone call that morning, demanding he marry someone appropriate. Forgot about everything except the way her smile made his chest ache. "What do you do?" she asked. "I'm a heart surgeon." Her coffee cup froze halfway to her lips. He watched her retreat behind walls he recognized, because he'd built the same ones. "That must be lonely," she said quietly. No one had ever said that to him before. They talked about the prestige, the money, the power of holding life and death in his hands. But she saw what no one else did. Desperately, he admitted. Her eyes met his. Understanding passed between them, silent and complete. Gabriel's phone buzzed. "Surgery in 90 minutes. He stood reluctantly. "Can I see you again?" The words escaped before he could stop them. Amelia's face flushed. "I don't think we're from the same world, but that's why it would work." She wrote her number on a napkin with shaking hands. As Gabriel walked out into the cold October air, he didn't notice his father waiting by his car. "Who was that?" Richard Stone's voice was ice. "No one." "Good, because I've arranged dinner with Senator Marshall's daughter tomorrow. You will be there, Gabriel. And you will be charming." Gabriel's hand tightened around the napkin in his pocket. "Of course, Father." "Ah!" But as he drove away, he was already planning to text Amelia tonight. He didn't see his father pull out his phone, already making calls. 3 weeks changed everything. Gabriel started showing up at the library. Always at closing time, always with coffee from Sunrise Cafe. They'd walk through empty streets talking until midnight, their breath forming clouds in the November cold. Amelia felt herself falling. Terrified and exhilarated. Tonight, they sat on a park bench near the fountain. Gabriel's hand found hers, and she didn't pull away. "My father wants me to marry someone else," he said suddenly. Amelia's heart stopped. "What? Victoria Marshall?" "Senator's daughter. Perfect breeding, perfect connections." His voice was bitter. "He's been planning it since I was born." "Then why are you here with me?" Gabriel turned to face her, his green eyes burning in the streetlight. "Because with you, I can breathe. With you, I'm not Dr. Stone or the heir to a medical empire. I'm just Gabriel." "I'm nobody," Amelia whispered. "I'm a librarian who lives in a studio apartment and eats ramen 3 times a week. You're everything." He leaned closer. "Tell me you feel this too." "I do." The confession escaped like a prayer. "But your father, I'll handle him." Their first kiss tasted like coffee and promises. Amelia felt tears on her cheeks, unsure if they were from joy or the certainty that this couldn't last. When she got home that night, there was an envelope under her door. No return address. Inside was a photograph of Gabriel having dinner with a stunning blonde woman. Victoria? Probably. They looked perfect together, like they belonged on a magazine cover. Beneath the photo, a typed note: "He's using you. When he's bored, he'll throw you away." Save yourself the humiliation. Amelia's hand shook as she read it again. And again, her phone buzzed. Gabriel, tonight was perfect. Tomorrow, I want to take you somewhere special. She stared at the message. Then, at the photograph. I can't do this, she whispered to her empty apartment. But she texted back, yes, the next evening. Gabriel picked her up in his sleek black car. He drove them to a cliff overlooking the city, where lights sparkled like fallen stars. My mother used to bring me here, he said quietly, before she died. Gabriel, she killed herself when I was 16. His voice was flat, clinical. Pills. My father found her in the bathtub. He told everyone it was a heart defect. Couldn't have the Stone name associated with weakness. Amelia's breath caught. I'm so sorry. She left me a letter. Said she couldn't live in a cage anymore. That she hoped I'd be braver than she was. Gabriel's jaw tightened. I became a heart surgeon because I couldn't save hers. Pathetic, right? It's human. He looked at her, vulnerable in a way she'd never seen. I'm falling in love with you, Amelia. And it terrifies me. I'm scared too. They held each other as the wind howled around them, two broken people trying to be whole. Gabriel's phone rang. His father. He ignored it. It rang again. And again. Finally, he answered. What? Amelia watched his face drain of color. When? His voice was hollow. I'll be right there. He hung up, his hand shaking. There's been an accident. My father, he's at the hospital. They're saying he might not make it through the night. Oh my God. Go now. Gabriel kissed her hard, desperately. Wait for me, please. I will. She watched his taillights disappear, her heart pounding with dread she couldn't name. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number, he's gone. You're free now. Don't waste it. Amelia stared at the message, ice flooding her veins. Someone was watching them. Richard Stone survived. Barely. Gabriel spent 5 days at the hospital, operating on his own father, while Amelia waited for a call that never came. On the 6th day, she went to him. Metropolitan Hospital smelled like antiseptic and death. She found Gabriel in the ICU waiting room, unshaven. Still in surgical scrubs. You came, he whispered, pulling her into his arms. Of course I came. They held each other until a nurse cleared her throat. Dr. Stone, he's asking for you. Gabriel's grip tightened. Come with me. Richard Stone looked smaller in the hospital bed, tubes and wires connecting him to machines that beeped rhythmically. But his eyes were sharp as they landed on Amelia. So this is her? He said, voice weak but cutting. The librarian. Father, not now. How much do you want? Amelia froze. Excuse me? Everyone has a price, Miss Grace. Richard's smile was cruel. Name yours. 50,000. 100? To walk away and never contact my son again? Dad, stop. 200,000. Richard continued. Cash. Untraceable. All you have to do is disappear. Gabriel's face was white with fury. She's not for sale. Everyone is for sale, son. I should know. I bought your mother's silence for years before she couldn't take it anymore. The words hung in the air like poison. What? Gabriel's voice broke. She was going to leave me, take you with her. So I paid her to stay. Every year, a larger amount. Until the price got too high and she found another way out. Amelia watched Gabriel shatter in real time. You're lying, he whispered. The account is still active. $2 million, untouched. She never spent a penny. Just let it pile up while she slowly died inside. Richard's eyes moved to Amelia. So what will it be, dear? Are you stronger than she was? Amelia felt sick. This man had killed his wife with money and manipulation. And now he was trying to do the same to them. I love your son, she said clearly. And you can't buy that, Richard laughed. A wet rattling sound. We'll see. Outside the room, Gabriel leaned against the wall. Shaking, he's a monster, Amelia said softly. He's my father. Da 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 da. Gabriel's voice was distant. I need to think. Fear clutched Amelia's chest. Gabriel, please. Just give me a few days. She left, her heart breaking with every step. A week passed. Silence. Then 2 weeks. Amelia threw herself into work, reading to children who still believed in happy endings, trying not to check her phone every 5 minutes. On day 16, she found Victoria Marshall waiting outside the library. The senator's daughter was even more beautiful in person. Blonde, elegant, composed. We need to talk, Victoria said. They went to a coffee shop, not Sunrise Cafe. Amelia couldn't bear that. He's marrying me, Victoria said without preamble. Next month, his father's dying wish. Amelia felt her world tilt. No, Richard has maybe 6 months. Gabriel won't let him die without seeing him settled. The dutiful son, always. Victoria's smile was sad. I'm sorry. I actually like you, but you never stood a chance against family obligation. He loves me. He loves his father more, or hates him enough that it's the same thing. Victoria slid a business card across the table. That's my therapist. You'll need her. She left, and Amelia sat there, shaking. Her phone buzzed. Finally, Gabriel, I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore. You deserve someone whole. I'm too broken, one text. After weeks of silence, that's all she was worth. Amelia walked home in the rain, sobbing, and found another envelope waiting. Inside, single photograph. Gabriel and Victoria kissing at some charity gala, and a note in handwriting she recognized from children's library cards. He chose his cage. Don't waste your tears. She flipped the note over. There was an address and a name. Catherine Stone Memorial Foundation. Gabriel's mother's charity. The one Amelia had never heard him mention. Something wasn't right. Amelia grabbed her coat and headed into the night. The Catherine Stone Memorial Foundation was housed in a Victorian building on the edge of the city. Amelia's hands trembled as she pushed open the heavy door. Inside, walls were covered with photographs. Catherine Stone at charity events. Catherine with children. Catherine's smile, bright and desperate in every picture. Can I help you? An elderly woman emerged from an office, kind eyes magnified behind thick glasses. I'm looking for information about Catherine Stone, Amelia said. The woman's face softened. Are you the librarian? Gabriel's Amelia. Shock rippled through her. How do you? Catherine was my sister. I'm Margaret. She gestured to a chair. Gabriel doesn't know about me. Richard made sure of that. Paid me to stay away after Catherine died. But I've been watching. And when I saw Gabriel with you, I thought maybe he'd finally found a way out. He's marrying Victoria Marshall. Margaret's face crumpled. Then Richard won. Tell me what happened, please. Margaret pulled out a worn leather journal. Catherine left this for Gabriel. Richard was supposed to give it to him when he turned 21. He never did. Amelia opened the journal with shaking hands. Catherine's handwriting filled the pages. Love letters to her son. Warnings about his father. And on the last page, my darling Gabriel, if you're reading this, I'm gone. And I need you to know the truth. I didn't take pills because I was weak. I took them because your father threatened to destroy you. He found out about David, the man I truly loved, the one who showed me what life could be outside this golden prison. Richard said he'd ruin David's medical career, frame him for malpractice, destroy everything unless I stayed silent. So I made a choice. I stayed quiet. I took the money, and I slowly poisoned myself with regret. Don't make my mistake, my beautiful boy. Don't let him control you through guilt and obligation. Love is the only thing that matters. Fight for it. Choose it. Even if it costs you everything. Especially then. I love you always. Mom tears blurred Amelia's vision. He doesn't know any of this. Richard made sure of it. And now he's doing it again. Threatening Gabriel with the foundation, with Catherine's legacy, with every weapon he has. Margaret's voice hardened. But there's something Richard doesn't know. Catherine left everything to Gabriel in a trust that activates when Richard dies. The money, the foundation, all of it. Richard has no control, but he's convinced Gabriel otherwise. You have to tell him. He won't believe us. Not while his father is dying. Richard's final manipulation. Margaret pressed the journal into Amelia's hands. But you can try, Amelia ran. She found Gabriel at his penthouse, packing boxes. He looked hollow, a ghost of the man she'd fallen in love with. Hey, you shouldn't be here, he said without turning. Your mother left you this? He spun around, saw the journal, and froze. Where did you get that? Your Aunt Margaret. Your father kept it from you. Gabriel took the journal like it might burn him. Read his mother's final words. And broke. Amelia held him while he sobbed. This brilliant surgeon who saved lives but couldn't save himself, and she felt her own heart shatter for what she had to do. You don't have to marry Victoria, she whispered. Your father lied. The foundation is already yours. He has no power. Gabriel pulled back, eyes red. You don't understand. If I don't do this, he'll destroy you. He has private investigators, lawyers, connections everywhere. He'll make sure you lose your job, your apartment, everything. He's already started. Ice filled her veins. What? He showed me the files. Every detail of your life, your student loans, your landlord, your boss. One phone call, and it all falls apart. Gabriel's voice broke. I can't let him hurt you. I won't. So I'm doing what my mother couldn't. I'm choosing your safety over my happiness. That's not your choice to make. It's the only choice I have left. Amelia grabbed his face, forcing him to look at her. Then we run. Tonight, we disappear. Let him have his empty empire. He's dying, Amelia. 6 months, maybe less, and he's my father. I hate him, and I can't leave him. Confession tore out of him. I'm too broken to be what you need. You're exactly what I need. They kissed, desperate and drowning, knowing it was goodbye. I love you, Gabriel whispered against her lips. That's why I have to let you go. Amelia left before she could break completely. Outside, she pulled out her phone with shaking hands. Made a call she never thought she'd make. Mr. Stone? This is Amelia Grace. I'd like to accept your offer. Richard's laugh was triumphant. Smart girl. How much? I don't want your money. I want a promise. You leave Gabriel alone. Completely. No manipulation, no threats, no control. You let him go. And what do I get? I disappear. Forever. You never tell him about this conversation. Let him think I got scared and ran. Silence. Then deal. Amelia hung up and let herself cry. She was saving him the only way she knew how. By becoming the villain in their story. 3 days later, she was gone. New city, new name. New life. Gabriel got the news from Victoria, who looked genuinely sorry. She took your father's money. I'm so sorry. Gabriel sat in his empty penthouse, his mother's journal open on his lap, and felt nothing. He'd lost them both. The women he loved, destroyed by the same man. He married Victoria on a Tuesday. His father watched from a wheelchair, victorious, and Gabriel became exactly what he'd always feared, his father's son. 5 years passed like a prison sentence. Gabriel performed surgeries with mechanical precision, came home to Victoria's perfectly decorated house and her perfectly polite distance. They never fought because they never cared enough to. Richard died after 2 years, bitter and alone. His final words were, "You're just like me now." Gabriel buried him without tears. The foundation became his obsession. He poured Catherine's money into literacy programs, children's libraries, anything that reminded him of what he'd lost. It was penance. It was torture. It was all he had left. Tonight, he stood in a newly renovated library in a small coastal town. Ribbon-cutting ceremony long over, wandering empty aisles because he couldn't face going home. The children's section was perfect. Bright colors, cozy reading nooks, shelves at the right height for small hands. It's beautiful. Gabriel's heart stopped. He turned slowly, afraid he was hallucinating. Amelia stood at the end of the aisle, older now, her hair shorter, her face showing lines that hadn't been there before. But her eyes were the same warm brown that haunted his dreams. You're not real, he whispered. I'm real, She moved closer, and he saw her hands were shaking. "I've been working here for 3 years. They told me Gabriel Stone was funding the renovation, but I never thought you'd actually come. You took the money." The accusation came out broken. "You left. I made a deal to save you." The words hung between them like a grenade. "What?" "Your father threatened to destroy me if you didn't marry Victoria. So I took a different deal. I'd disappear and he'd leave you alone." Tears streamed down her face. "I thought I was setting you free." Gabriel felt his knees weaken. "Margaret told me 2 years ago, after he died, she told me everything. Then why didn't you find me?" "Because you were free. Finally, free of the Stone family poison. Why would I drag you back into it?" His voice broke. "I'm married, Amelia. I have a life, even if it's empty. You deserve better than being the other woman in my tragedy." "Victoria left you," Amelia said softly. 8 months ago. Margaret told me. She's in Paris with someone who actually loves her." Gabriel stared. "How did you, Margaret, and I stayed in touch?" "She's the only one who knew where I was." Amelia stepped closer. "She said you've been alone ever since. Working yourself to death, living like a ghost. I don't get to be happy. Not after what he did. What I let him do." Your mother's last words were to fight for love. "Even if it costs everything, it cost you 5 years. It cost us 5 years." Amelia was close enough to touch now. "But Gabriel, we're still here. Still breathing. Still broken. Maybe we can be broken together." "I don't know how to do this anymore," he whispered. "I don't know how to hope. Neither do I. But I'm willing to try if you are." Gabriel looked at her, really looked, and saw his own scars reflected back. They'd both been destroyed by Richard's manipulation. Both sacrificed themselves for the other. Both lost everything trying to be noble. Maybe that meant they were perfectly matched after all. "I'm terrified," he admitted. "Good, me too." He reached out slowly, giving her time to pull away. She didn't. Their hands touched, and it felt like coming home. "I never stopped loving you," Gabriel said. "Not for a single day." "I kept a picture," Amelia confessed. "The one from the coffee shop that first day. I'd look at it every night and imagine what we could have been. We could still be something." His thumb traced circles on her palm. "If you'll have a broken surgeon with too much baggage and abandonment issues, only if you'll have a librarian who ran away when things got hard." They both smiled through their tears. "This won't be easy," Gabriel warned. "I'm still learning how to be human again. How to feel things. I've got time. I'm terrible at communicating. We'll figure it out. I might wake up from nightmares. I'll be there." Gabriel pulled her close, breathing in the scent of her shampoo, feeling her heartbeat against his chest. "I want to do this right," he murmured. "Court you properly. Take you on dates. Meet your friends. Build something real instead of desperate. I'd like that." They held each other in the children's section of a library neither of them could have imagined 5 years ago. Two broken people, choosing hope over fear. Outside, Margaret watched through the window and smiled. Gabriel kissed Amelia softly, reverently, like she was precious and fragile and worth every sacrifice. "Thank you for not giving up on us," he whispered. "Thank you for finding me." They had no idea what tomorrow would bring. No guarantee this would work. No promise of a fairy tale ending. But standing there together, hands intertwined, they decided broken was beautiful if you found someone whose pieces fit with yours. And maybe, just maybe, that was enough. The library lights cast warm shadows around them as they began again. Older and wiser and scarred, but finally free. The end.